Hello and welcome to our answer to the essential question. I'm Braden Cardinal and I'm joined by Logan Martin. We will be answering the question for English 11: what is inequality and how does it affect us and our community? So, how does it affect you, Logan?
Um, I feel like inequality hasn't really affected me personally, but I can definitely see that it's affected people around me in my community and in my friend group, especially online. I could see that it's affected my friends because people are just able to hide behind a screen and say what they want with no repercussions and stuff like that. So how do you think you've been affected, or how your community or friends have been affected by inequality?
Honestly, I kind of have to say the same. I haven't really been affected by it, but I
Yeah,
have noticed people that look different or act different have been treated differently or worse because of inequality.
yeah,
And I do agree with the whole social media. It's very easy to discriminate or say anything without any repercussions because it can be anonymous and no one will know who you are. It's very easy to make a new account or like there's a lot of ways to just like be mean to someone on social media without being caught.
right. So about this new thing that's been going around, the fight against racism, how do you think that's affected our community?
I feel like society has needed change for a while in this. Um and the protests are good and like it's good that they're getting it out there what like they need to change because I feel like a lot of discrimination towards black people and just
How
any
long has
race.
it's like how long it's been going on, right? It's been going on
Yeah,
for
it's
way too
just
long,
yeah, and it's getting out of control kind of.
right? Like I feel this the same way, and I feel like that towards the coronavirus too. What do you think about the coronavirus and how it's like affected people like
I think
inequality
that
ways?
I think that like since it's from China and even Donald Trump has been saying it's been calling it the China virus.
Right.
I think that since it originated from somewhere, I mean, like it did come from China, but I think that people are also starting to be mean and discriminate Chinese people because it's like come from their, I guess, like place.
Yeah.
And I think that's wrong because they really don't have anything to do with it and they can't change what happened. What do you think about that?
Yeah, oh, I totally agree of how people's minds change just like that, just because of what the government says and stuff like that, and how they target people even though they did nothing wrong. Like people like Chinese people that live in Canada and stuff or all over the world have been affected by this even though they don't even live where it came from. Stuff like that. It's kind of
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Another thing is like with Lord of the Flies, the novel we've been going over,
right.
um, it covers inequality like a lot throughout the whole novel with Piggy and so much stuff. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of discrimination towards one of the characters, Piggy, because of his weight and maybe the way he talked and how he was such a mommy's boy. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But as you go throughout the story, you can see how much of a help he actually was and how much he grew, like Jack grew on to him, and how much he actually became really helpful and useful throughout the story.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I feel like if they maybe would have listened to him, some parts in the story, he might have actually been able to help resolve a lot of situations
Hmm.
because he really wasn't very biased at all towards
Hmm.
anything. And I feel like the story would have gone very different if they would have maybe just accepted Piggy, even though he looked different, and just gotten over themselves.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna bring it back to the main question here of inequality. What do you think is the best way to fix inequality? Like, what do you think is the best way?
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna find a way to fix it in a very long time, but I think there's ways to make it better. And like I know that people don't like change or things that are different from what they like, but I feel like if people just like gave it more time to understand what's really going on, and like just because someone's a different color or like looks different, just like accept them for who they are and stuff. What do you
Right.
think about that?
I feel like because of the riot, not the riots, sorry, the protesting that's been happening. I feel like that is a major help in this whole thing, and I feel like this is going to be resolved sooner or later because it is 2020. So much has changed. So much is just going on. It's been crazy, and I feel like that inequality is going to become like nothing. I feel like I don't know. That's just my stance on it. That these protests are really gonna help people like think or believe that people are all equal.
Yeah, for sure. I think if they keep on the track that they're on right now, and if they keep protesting and just, I think they need
Like
to
doing
speak
the
their
right
mind.
thing.
Yeah, and prove their point to the government or whoever that like change needs to happen. I think that it might get better and it might improve
Do
for
you
sure.
think, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Do you think that the rioting is a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that the protests are a good thing. I don't know how I feel about the rioting because like there's a lot of videos about like people looting like local stores
Right.
and local businesses, and like those people have worked hard. Maybe it's like only one or two people that like own it, and them losing that and all of their like stuff they've worked for is kind of hard to watch because it's not very easy to build that stuff up.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just think that like that's taking a bit too far and that doesn't really help prove their point. But I don't know. I agree with the protests for sure. What do you think about it?
I feel like the rioting, I don't know, it's a weird topic because I feel like the rioting is really bad because they've been affecting small store owners, like you were saying, and how they're writing big companies and burning police stations down. The the reason I think they're doing this is just to get a point across. I feel like it is getting taken a little too far out of hand, but I also feel like it's the best way, I feel like, to get their point across because in the past it really hasn't worked. So I feel like this is one of the better ways. Not saying it's good, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like, as I said before, social media is bad for like it's very easy to be anonymous. But at
Yeah.
the same time, with all this, like social media is absolutely everywhere. Everyone owns a smartphone. Everyone owns like all that stuff, or not everyone, but a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the riots and the protests are like all over social media. There's videos, there's pictures, there's paragraphs, and I feel like it is social media is also helping it just get like across the world what's
Like
going
what?
on here.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Just like Black Lives Matter protests and everything like that.
Yeah, it's really helping to prove the point of inequality.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well,
I don't know that there's anything else to really talk about.
yeah, we can. You want to end it there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. Thank you.